we try to keep these at 30 minutes.
All right. Fenway, is there a weight room that I need to pay attention to?
There is not, nope.
Okay, perfect, okay. All righty, so some of you may have been on the earlier sessions today, but we've had different 30-minute sessions throughout the day, just talking a little bit about the overall programming. We then had a parent who was on. Staff, do you remember Gil? His dad was on talking a little bit ago. So now we wanted to provide an opportunity where you got to see and hear from some of our part-time staff and some of our alumni. So Katie, can you undo your camera?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have people go around and introduce themselves. So grads, I'm gonna start with you. If you can wave so people know it's you talking, say your name, where you are from, and then when you came to EGTI, if you can remember, okay? So Morgan, let's start with you.
Okay, my name is Morgan Hickman. I was part of the 2016 EGTI Grad, and 2000, I was part of session 4. So the last class of 2016.
Seems like forever ago.
Yeah.
Sarah?
I also graduated from class of 2016 from Erskine Green, and I did the front desk, and I'm from Zionsville.
Carly?
I am Carly. I am from Low, Indiana. I was part of 2018 Section 2.
You're making me seasick with you moving. All right, Katie.
I'm Katie, and I'm from Brazil, Indiana, and I trained a front desk agent, and I came on January 5th.
Yes, you went this year. So Katie was one where she was here right when COVID hit. Wah, wah. Okay, and then we have 2 part-time staff on here right now. I thought Alex was supposed to get on, but I don't see him. We have 2 part-time staff. So I'm going to have Bryn and Audrey introduce yourself, say how long you've been with EGTI, and then what you're majoring in at Ball State.
So I'm Audrey Williams. I started with EGTI in August of 2018, I think, session 3. This is my 10th session with them, and I graduate in December with a degree in special education with intense interventions.
Awesome.
I'm Bryn. I started volunteering for Erskine Green in summer of 2019 and started working in January of this year. And I'm an exercise science major.
Yeah.
All right, double speak.
All right.
Okay. So I am going to pull up my screen and I'm gonna go through a PowerPoint. And when I'm talking through these things, you guys might have to move your screens around so you can see who's all talking here. But I'm gonna have our part-time staff and our students kind of give some input on some of these different topics. So let me get my screen shared. Can you guys see it? Okay.
We will.
All right, so the first thing I want you guys to share about, so people have an idea of what goes on in the evenings and weekends, is what did you guys do for fun? What are some examples of things that you did? Maybe what were some of your most favorite things to do? If you guys want to kind of share about that. Sarah, do you want to start? Go for it. Unmute your microphone.
I know. I like late night. That was fun.
Okay, talk about late night, because people on here won't know what late night was.
Late night is like you go in the evening. It's like on the weekends, and you go with the Ball State part-time staff, and you do fun activities. Each weekend they have a different theme.
Yeah. And it's always like a different topic, right? Like I remember there was like Winter Olympics one time, and you guys had like exotic animals.
That one was my favorite.
Yeah. Bryn or Audrey, did you guys ever go with a group to late night at Ball State?
Yeah, I've taken a lot. You can see it looks like that picture on the top right is from late night. But every week it's a bunch of free food, free activities. One time there was the Greatest Showman theme, and there was like a magician there. And then there's 3 different levels of the student center that it uses. That's how many different activities. And then there's always bowling and pool as well. But yeah, we do a lot of like crafts and fun activities and karaoke and bounce houses and stuff.
That's right. That picture in the top right corner that you guys see when they're in those little bumper cars, they had like a glow in the dark night. So everything was like glow in the dark theme. So, okay. So Sarah liked going to late night. Carly or Morgan or Katie, what were the types of activities that you guys enjoyed doing in the evenings?
I like to,
Go for it, Katie.
sorry, I like to do the planetarium. That was fun. We we go there on Friday and we see the teacher, and she would show the constellation and talk about the Orion, and it gives us like you get like a pamphlet, and it like this map, and it shows all the constellation stuff. Like you get to point out everything, and she'll talk about stuff. It's just like a really neat, like so very fun.
Tell them, where was the planetarium at?
It was at the Ball State College, Ball State University, and there's a section at the Ball State University where you go into a room and it just shows constellations and stuff.
Okay, so you like the planetarium. Morgan, what about you? What did you like to do in the evenings and weekends?
So for me, it just depended on like what my friends were doing, and then also like what I felt like doing. Some weekends I would walk out or go to the YMCA and play basketball, and then other times I would go to late night. But I mean, there's a variety of different things to do, which is really fun. So it gives you a lot of different options.
So Morgan brought up a good point. Students get free memberships to the YMCA, and there's a YMCA right beside the hotel. So it's easy for students to walk right over there and use their facility. Morgan or Audrey or Bren, do you want to talk a little bit about what different activities they could choose from over at the YMCA?
Yeah, there's like just a regular fitness center where you could do weights or the cardio machines. They have a track. We use the pool. There's a picture of that on the screen. Basketball, racquetball. Missing anything, Audrey?
I've taken students to dance fitness too, which is like a specific class that they have, but it's a lot of fun. It's like Zumba. But we kind of, we'll go and we'll divide and conquer. So sometimes half the people will play basketball and half of them will lift weights, and then we'll switch or kind of do whatever. They have access to just about everything between the different YMCAs.
Mm-hmm. Carly, what things did you enjoy doing in the evenings and weekends?
A lot of the time I swam and went to the mall with my section. And we played a lot of card games like Uno. So the part-time staff, when they got to the next section, they were so done with the card games.
You were card gamed out.
Yeah, we played that so much.
Any other activities that you guys want to share that you enjoyed doing, or Bryn or Audrey? Any activities that you notice that a lot of students like going out and doing?
On movie night, one time, Grace and her roommate ran into me and 2 other classmates while we were watching Lion King over by the hotel.
Oh, the outdoor one?
And
was it an outdoor at Cannon Commons?
Yeah.
Okay, so the hotel where we are, there's a place called the Cannon Commons, and it's a big outdoor kind of amphitheater area right by the hotel. And during the summertime, they will play outdoor movies. And so if you happen to be here during that time frame, students have enjoyed going over there and watching movies.
Yeah, also at
else?
Canaan Commons, there's lots of different events that come up throughout the year. So like in December, there's a light up downtown. So this big Christmas event. Usually during not COVID times, Ball State has some like school spirit events, like near homecoming. They've done a couple outdoor plays with COVID, which has been really cool. And we also go to Cannon Commons a lot, and we'll just take frisbees and football and cornhole and wiffle ball. We'll take a bunch of those. So that's like a consistently fun one. And then other Muncie events that come up, we went and saw Music Man outdoors on Ball State's campus. So that one was really fun. There's food truck festivals downtown. Katie mentioned the planetarium, which is another fun one. And then if there's not necessarily like a scheduled fun event going on sponsored by Muncie, we'll just create like a game night or a movie night and fun things like that.
You can see on your screen here, bowling and pool. Morgan, Carly, Sarah, or Katie, did you guys ever go to Ball State Student Center and then go down and play bowling or pool?
Yes, it was-
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys all went over there?
I've been there, and I like doing like playing the different games, but also the atrium. We can go there and grab lunch, which is really cool. Whenever you do like take the bus, and then also like going out to eat during the week or the weekend.
Yeah, so that's a good segue. So now let's move into the meal plan. So students who come to EGTI, they all have a meal card. And the meal card looks like the one on your screen. That's why sometimes they're blue. Morgan, these came after your time, Morgan and Sarah.
Okay.
Carly, did you have the meal card or did it come after you too?
I remember having a Subway meal card.
Okay, so this came after you. So then Katie is the only one who
Yeah,
doesn't.
I had a meal card too.
Yeah. So there are approved restaurants that students can go use their meal card at. There's about 20 to 25 different locations. So anywhere downtown Muncie, anywhere on Ball State's campus. There's a street called the Village on Ball State's campus where there's a lot of dining options. Students who are training over at the hospital can eat over at the hospital during the day. And so their meal card is what they swipe for all of their meals. So kind of like Morgan was saying, in the evenings, students enjoy going out as groups to go eat at different restaurants. So I'll let you guys kind of talk about what were some of your favorite places to go eat during your time here.
I'm just gonna cut this up for you. I'm not gonna eat any.
Okay. My favorite of all time was Brothers. And my favorite was the $2 burgers and $1 fries, and they're only $3 on Tuesdays. It was so good.
Yes. So students, Bryn and Audrey, right? I feel like students always like going to Brothers because it's $2 burger night. So, and Brothers is on the Village on Ball State's campus. So students enjoy going there. Where else did you guys like eating, or do students like to go?
Three Wise Men.
Three Wise Men, which is now the Tap House, which is in the restaurant. So if it's snowy or raining out, there is a restaurant inside of the hotel where students can go eat. Sarah and Morgan, what was one of your favorites?
I think for me, one of my favorites was the Mexican restaurant. I forget the name. I think
Casa del Sol.
Casa del
Good.
Sol. Yeah, that's good. And then I liked going to the bistro because they always had like good food, like for some like snacks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also what's the other place? The one place whenever we went and got those whenever we're doing our access
Community access
checklist.
checklist. Was it downtown Muncie?
Yeah, it was where you got like the sandwiches and stuff. We went there as a class. I forget the
Ivy
name of
Tech.
it.
The place she's talking about is Ivy Tech's.
Yeah.
Chesterfield's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good place too.
Sarah, did you have any favorite places that you liked going to eat?
How about the cookie place downtown?
The one on Ball State's
Yeah.
campus, or another
Yeah.
one? You like going to Insomnia Cookies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing, well, Katie, the others didn't get to try this out. Talk about the barking cow.
Yes, Barking Cow is my favorite. The best ice cream in town. Way better than Dairy Queen. It is very good.
So the barking cow is walking distance to the hotel. So it has a lot of ice cream options and then good food too. So
Yes.
I
Carly
remember
and-
having that place.
what, Carly?
I had it it opened towards the end of my section. So
Okay, it's
my
so
group
good.
only experienced it for a few weeks.
Okay,
It was awesome.
it's so good. Audrey and Bran, are there any other places that you see the students tend to go like to eat?
We have been taken a lot to Ball State recently now that they've opened back up, because Ball State dining halls, there's 7 or 8 of them open right now, and they have a lot of variety within them as well. So sometimes if we go to the atrium, they have, like name brand restaurants. They have a Papa John's and Chick-fil-A and Boar's Head Deli, or there's a Taco Bell and Starbucks in one of the buildings. But then they also have their own options with salad bars and sandwiches and grilled chicken and vegetables and grills and stir fry. So we do that a lot. And then in the village, there's a newer place to Muncie called Yats. And so we
Yes.
actually just introduced this session of students to it last Friday.
Yeah.
But yeah, Yats is like a kind of Cajun. It's more of like Louisiana style food. And all the students that went loved it. And so it's become a new hit.
Any other input on food and where you guys go for meal plan?
So I was gonna say that, like, for the stuff that's on the meal plan, but then like whenever you end up going to EGTI, you're gonna need to bring like some money if you want to eat stuff that's outside of the meal plan, because the meal plan doesn't cover everything. So
That's a good point, Morgan. So we have those 20 to 25 approved places on the meal card. Now, students can go eat other places, but then you're right, they would have to use their own money for those places. Katie, were you getting ready to say something, Katie?
Yes, I also like the Roots Burger Bar is the best. They have really good burgers, and the broccoli is so fresh that it's so good, and the fries are amazing.
Don't they have tater tots too?
Yes, the tater tots are excellent.
Yes, I know.
Oh, and my other favorite one is the I forget what the restaurant's called. It has like duck fat fries. It's boiled fat with fried egg on top. It's so good.
Twin Archer, Katie. It's Twin Archer Brew Pub, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So Twin Archer you can walk there from the hotel too. So there's a handful of places that you can walk to. They're close to the hotel. And then the other places, students have to hop on to the bus to ride there. Okay. Let's talk about the bus. Yes, Audrey, go.
I was just going to ask a question about the meal plan. Like, do students just get an unlimited amount, like spending on meals, or?
Good question. So on the meal card, do you guys remember how much you get every Friday? Morgan?
I think it wasn't it like 50 or something?
Close. 155.
155.
So you got that part right. So students get $155 every Friday, and that goes onto their meal card. And then that's what they have to spend for the week. And then the next Friday, they get another $155 on their meal card. And anything that wasn't used rolls over, so they don't lose it if they don't use it.
And now,
before we go on to talk about social media, talk a little bit about how do you guys get to restaurants, or how do you get to activities that require you, if you can't walk, if it's not close by, how do you get there?
So
You take the bus system.
Yeah.
Okay, yep, Carly, you have to take the bus. What else?
You walk down.
And then you can like either take Uber, Lyft, if they have either one of those, or you can take the taxi.
Okay,
And
yeah.
they will give you a taxi number to call if you ask the front desk at the hotel.
So sometimes if the bus isn't running, some students have used things like Uber or a taxi. So that's one way. Carly, you were saying something. What's another way our students get around?
You can like walk, bus, and then Morgan took the other two out of my mouth.
Yeah. Good. How did you guys, Katie and Carly and Sarah, Morgan, how did you feel about riding the bus system in Muncie?
I mean, I felt good about it. I mean, with those certain times, like those whenever like the bus is busy. So usually whenever I would ride it, I would try to go whenever it wasn't too busy. So like after class or like later at night, and then you have to pass a certain access checklist items off before you can ride it by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to have someone with you in case you don't pass it.
Good. And we talked about, for those who were on the call earlier on the 8:30 session, I talked about levels 1, 2, and 3 for the community access checklist.
Okay.
Sarah, what did you think about riding the bus?
I liked it.
You did?
Yeah.
Katie, what did you think about riding the bus? I see your hands raised.
I think I felt safe, and it was I was hoping to get to level 3, which is where you get to be able to ride on the bus independently, but I never got to that. But other than that, riding the bus I felt like I was pretty safe. I knew my way around, and it got adjusted, and so I think so anyway, it's nice and clean and very easy to get access to, and I felt safe.
Good. Hey, Bryn, do you want to give a stab at explaining the 3 levels 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah, so once students show that they can get around the hotel safely and are safe with strangers and are able to use their meal card and tip and things like that, then they can be on level 1, which means that they can stay at the hotel alone. They don't need staff there with them. If you get to level 2, that means that you can walk around downtown on your own. So you've proven that you can cross the street safely and you know your way around downtown pretty well, or you can use the maps on your phone to get around. And then you don't need staff to go with you if you want to go to a restaurant downtown or to an event downtown. And then once you get to level 3, you can use the bus system on your own. So that means that you know how to figure out what bus route you need to be on and where it will take you and what time you need to be at each stop. And if you don't quite reach level 3 right away, then part-time staff can go with you to get where you need to go. So you're still able to go places, but you just can't go on your own until you reach those levels.
Perfect. Okay. Morgan, what level did you get to?
I got to level 3, so I passed. Though I had to retake the assessment test for level 3, but I ended up passing this in time. It's because, and it's also because I didn't put the thing soon enough.
Your camera's freezing. You didn't hit the yellow strip soon enough to let the driver you wanted off?
Yeah. So
That's okay.
I ended up pulling it too late.
That's all right. So you did a second bus assessment and passed that one?
Yeah.
Awesome. Sarah, what about you?
I made it to level 3.
Woo woo.
And I had to do level 2 twice, I believe.
Do you remember why?
No.
No. It was a long time ago. Carly, what about you?
I made it to level 3 on the second day of the second week.
Woo woo.
With one other classmate.
Okay. Good. Katie, what about you? Katie, what level were you on?
I was on level 2.
And then Katie's group had to go home early because of COVID. So
yes.
You kind of got cut short. Yeah, Audrey?
I just want to add a fun little story about the MIT station and just seeing so I see all these alumni in these pictures here, and one of them lives in Muncie and works at the hospital now. So not only is he living independently in an apartment, but I saw him at the MIT station last week while I was at work, and he was going from work back home. And so it was skills that he not only took from EGTI, like using the bus, but also his work skills that he was applying at Ball Memorial where he had trained. So it's
Is it
super
this
cool.
guy here in the orange hat in the picture?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's around now, and it's fun to, I've seen a couple alumni around. I saw another one when I was taking students to dinner the other night downtown.
He ran into them.
So yeah, you just see them. They stay connected.
That's awesome. Hey, Morgan, Sarah, Carly, or Katie. So I kind of told an earlier group that we have some actors and actresses that kind of test your stranger awareness skills, they knock on the door or they approach you in the lobby or approach you out on the sidewalk. Do you remember getting approached by a stranger?
I remember 100%.
Yeah,
Did you
I
know?
have so many funny stories about some of my classmates too. I'm like, oh, that happened.
Did you know that they were strangers at the time?
No.
Oh, no, I didn't know. So whenever I did mine, it was Bunny's dad, because Bunny was still working there at the time, and it was like he was asking for some money, and I was like, sorry, I don't have any money, and I just walked away.
Good. See, you passed.
Yeah.
Katie, do you remember people knocking on your door?
Yes, I do remember. Yeah, it was pretty easy, and all I had to do was just go right to the door and tell them. I just look out that little peephole that's on our door, and I just looked out and see where they are, and then I remember 100%.
Did they ever ask you to leave the hotel with you?
What?
Did the person ever ask you to leave the hotel with you?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you leave the hotel with them?
What?
Did you leave the hotel with them?
I did not. I told them, I said, sorry, maybe one of your friends could go with you, but I can't go. I'm sorry. That's why I would tell them.
That's awesome. We have had students that walk out the door with these strangers, which is okay. It's part of our way to identify, who needs more practice and who needs more support. Okay, social media. So our students are up to a lot while they're at EGTI. And so we try to share as much as possible on social media. So Fridays specifically are when we post different social activities that students were up to in the evenings and weekends. So if students went to like a late night or they went and did like painting pottery or an activity like that, Fridays are when we post all of that on social media. So if you follow us on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, you will get to see what types of fun activities students are up to during their time here. We have a few minutes left. Is there anything else that we didn't talk about, guys, that you wanted to share before we get off of here? Or are there any questions for those listening in?
I do.
Yes, Katie, go for it.
But I don't have any questions, but you guys say that there's other ways to transport if you feel like to do Uber, and I did the first time at the movie theater. I paid $8 to get a Uber ride, so it's you can do that and also do Uber Eats to get food.
Uber Eats, okay, and you used Uber when you went to the movies.
Yeah.
Quentin had a question about when do we get a new group in. So we have a group of 12 students here right now. And these 12, when did it moved in? Mid-October, I think is when they moved in. And they will be graduating December 18th. So we have 12 students here right now. Are there any other questions from those on the call? We'll wait here for a few minutes to see if anything comes in. I know we have some students here watching. anything? Any questions?
Are there any other meetings today, Megan?
Yeah, they're due this afternoon. They're doing one for, let's see here, I'm pulling up at 2:00. They are doing one talking about the hotel training programs that we have to offer. At 3, they're talking about the restaurant jobs. And then at 4, they're talking about the healthcare jobs. So, okay, let me see here. We gotta. All right, somebody just said, thanks for sharing your personal stories, students. All righty, well, thank you guys for listening in and listening to some of our staff and students talk about their evenings and weekends. The next 30-minute session will be at 2:00. So if you can join, we will see you then. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you, Bryn and Audrey and Morgan, Sarah, Carly, Katie.
Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.